Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of the Eddrick Show. I am Eddrick Jerome. Pleased to have you joining us for this episode. Don't forget, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Eddrick Show. Please subscribe right now. Hit that button as we try to grow our audience from the ground up. You can also see us on Instagram at the Eddrick Show and also on our Facebook page, the Eddrick Show. I am pleased to welcome back a friend and someone who has done some great work. And I can't believe it's been almost more than a decade, but I want to welcome Pamela Ratliff. Pamela is the event producer. She's an advocate. She's a change agent. She's also program director of the educational initiatives and partnerships from the Office of the Cancer, Health, Equity, and Community Engagement for the Stanford Cancer Institute. And she's here to talk about the 10th anniversary of the Breast Cancer and African American Conference that's going to take place on August 28th. Pamela, it's good to see you, and welcome back to, welcome to a new edition of the Eddrick Show, and it's always good to see you and talk to you.
Thank you so much, Eddrick. It's always wonderful to see you as well, and I'm so excited to be here to share with you information regarding our upcoming event, and congrats on your new platform as well.
Thank you so much. I really enjoy it. So let's start off. Talk to us and tell us about the conference, the goals of the conference, and some of the topics that are going to be covered.
Well, we're just so pleased to host our 10th annual conference, as you mentioned, on breast cancer in African Americans. This event will be held virtually, entirely online, so it's very convenient for everyone to get involved and register. It will be on Saturday, August 28th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. due to the ongoing public considerations in place regarding large indoor gatherings, as you can imagine. The purpose really of this annual event is to eliminate breast cancer disparities in Black and African American populations here in the greater San Francisco Bay Area and surrounding communities through the dissemination of our high quality, timely, and culturally tailored cancer information and resources. So we really want to reach out to Black and African American women and men of any health status in the community, including those who are cancer patient survivors, caregivers, family members, health professionals, faith-based leaders, community advocates, and researchers. Anyone who has contact working with this particular population, we would love to have your support and encourage you to tell others about this important event.
And again, let me congratulate you on the 10th anniversary. That's quite a milestone, and I'm sure you must be proud of the great work that's been done over the past 10 years. So did you ever imagine that you'd be here now and it's the 10th anniversary?
Well, I can't say I imagine being here 10 years doing this particular program, but I can't say at all that we're not excited and delighted to be here, despite the topic area. Because of course, we would love to say that we don't even need this sort of event, that we don't have to worry about disparities and high mortality and death rates of African American women. But because we do have to continue on this journey and this fight to try to educate women, try to potentially provide life-saving information, I wouldn't have it any other way to have an institution such as this with the tremendous resources, the tremendous access to information to be able to share this with community members who are not only underserved, but many who are at risk and in need of this critically life-saving information.
Going back, what was the motivation for the first conference? Tell us about that experience and just how this came to be, as we sit here now, as you say, unfortunately, 10 years later.
Yes, well, the motivation was for the conference, the first conference we did with the Stanford Cancer Institute, was to really be able to provide information and to give back to the Black and African American community here in the greater San Francisco Bay Area. As you can imagine, we've done a lot of work behind the scenes in research and clinical services in being able to provide cutting edge information, cutting edge health services. But it's also important to step back and see what other areas can we improve to be able to help community members to become their own advocates, to try to educate them, provide them with resources, and also access to information from breast cancer experts and health experts from communities that are familiar to them as well, and backgrounds that have similar backgrounds as them. So our first conference was really motivated by the fact that this work needed to be done. And when we looked around, we didn't see any other programs like this that really were for and by the community. For me, it started in upwards of well over 40 years ago. My passion for this work came because of also personal relationships with breast cancer and cancer that impacted my own family. And I saw then that there was a need for us to really educate people well before they're diagnosed with cancer. So in doing that, I continue to try to achieve the most information and knowledge I could about the topic, in addition to getting hands-on experience working with individuals who were patients within hospital settings as well. So again, this has been, I always tell people, it's been many, many chapters ago, well before the 10-year that I've been really motivated and interested in doing something on this topic. And I've just really been blessed and fortunate to be able to do it here in the Bay Area. And the women have been amazing, amazing. So if you're not inspired when you attend this event, or when you speak to women who've undergone cancer treatment, who are still survivors and thriving, I don't know what else can motivate you. It just makes you really thankful and take a real look at your life and make sure that you understand the appreciation and gratitude that goes along with it.
You've always ensured with your conferences that families and caregivers, they play a central role in all of your conferences. And so can you discuss the impact that caregivers have on women who might be suffering from breast cancer?
Oh, yes, the caregivers are really critical to this process. They're really a main line of support for many women. Many women who are diagnosed with breast cancer rely on their family members to help them during the time of treatment, or their close network of friends. And what we try to tell people as well when you're diagnosed with cancer, it's important not to just keep it secret or keep it private. Oftentimes we see people do this, but if you don't tell people what it is you need in that particular time, they won't know. They don't know how to support you. Sometimes people are fearful to ask for assistance in certain areas, thinking that people are going to tell them no, but you don't know unless you ask. And we know historically African-American women have shouldered a lot for their families, their communities, their careers. And we're saying this is time for you to receive the support you so deserve. So we encourage women to talk to people about it. We encourage you to reach out to us. We can connect you with survivors. We have a wonderful group of community ambassadors that we've trained for the past almost over 7-8 years that have been a part of this program. And we are always eager to partner you with them so they can help you navigate the resources, the services, regardless of where you seek healthcare and services anywhere around the Bay Area. So it's really dear to my heart that I reach out to people and let them know that the caregivers are really important, and we need to also educate them on ways they can really support their loved one. And sometimes it's just listening. Something as simple as just listening to what they really want.
And I would think you would also need resources to support the caregivers, because in those situations, their self-care, there's ways that they have to take care of themselves in order to take care of someone who might be suffering from this disease.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that the caregivers also have emotional, psychological support resources. And actually, that makes me think of what we do each year at the conference. We have this amazing lineup of speakers and experts that are really key stakeholders in the Black community. And they really speak on a variety of topics that cover the spectrum of breast health, cancer research, health, and wellness. We actually have a speaker this year, Dr. Rowe, who's an award-winning health journalist, television personality, and author. She's known as America's nutrition coach on the Dr. Oz show. And she has helped millions of people, including well-known celebrities, really go through their journey of achieving healthier lifestyles. And one thing that will be covered in her talk is self-care. So we will provide practical tips and strategies for self-care. And that can apply to caregivers, those diagnosed with cancer, or those who are support networks for people. We just are so, I think we're so excited, and it's important for us to know and for everyone to understand, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else in your circle. We try to do it and we try to manage it, but sometimes it can cause overload. So we want people to really come out, hear these speakers. We have some more speakers who are talking on different topics, including a radiation oncologist, Dr. Karen Wingfield, who will be talking about breast cancer treatment options and the importance of going back to resume treatment if you're a cancer survivor, making sure you get screened, because early detection we know is the best chance for successful outcomes in terms of survivorship. And we also have a wonderful speaker, Ms. Rhea Blakey, who is Associate Director for External Outreach and Engagement in Oncology of Center of Excellence at the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, to talk about research, clinical trials research, and the importance of engagement of the community. So we have a lot of topics that we will be covering on breast cancer, including the impact of COVID-19, physical activity, biology of cancer, stress management, in addition to advocacy, which is really important for people to understand how to advocate for themselves.
Another aspect of your conference is you work to dispel the myth or the misnomer that breast cancer only affects women. And I admire you because you've always had the awareness to make sure that men were included in this conversation, because men can become affected by this disease. So maybe touch a little bit about that part of your conference.
We always welcome with open arms the men who come to our event. And it's always very touching to hear men and to really witness the courage of them talk about their experiences with breast cancer. In particular, we want to make sure people understand that although it's very small percentage, like 1 or 2% of men who get breast cancer, men who have a family history or some sort of genetic linkage to breast cancer can also get breast cancer. So we don't want people to feel as if because I'm a man, I may not get breast cancer. Yes, your risks are much smaller, but it's important for you to understand all the risks associated with this disease as well. So we want men to come out. We want them to, oftentimes we have men coming also to support their sisters, mothers. We've had a great deal of men come to participate. We've even had spouses come to talk about what it means to them and how it impacts them to have a wife diagnosed with breast cancer, because it doesn't just impact the individual, it in fact impacts the entire family structure. So it's important for us to have those conversations. And this year is no less great. We're going to have an amazing fireside chat, a very intimate discussion with breast cancer survivors of all ages and stages, who will give us firsthand insight of what it's like to be diagnosed with breast cancer and provide us with, again, best practices to survivorship. And so we're really excited about that. And following our event, attendees will have an opportunity to go online to our event webpage and access our virtual health resource fair, where we have organizations locally as well as national organizations who provide downloadable cancer resources and information to help people as well in their wellness journey. So we're super, super excited to have really a wonderful mix of information, of knowledge and expertise at this year's event. And we again want to encourage not only women, but also men to also join forces in this important topic.
We have a couple of minutes left, but I also want to make sure folks know that you can also get CEUs by attending this conference. So maybe you can give folks a little information about that.
Yes, we're excited. We provide CEUs for health professionals, nurses, social workers, and community health education specialists. And those are provided by our gracious longtime partners at the Bay Area Black Nurses Association. So on our website, which is tinyurl.com/2021 BCAA, you can find out more information regarding how to obtain CEUs the day of the event, but you must attend the entire day event schedule for the entire day, I should say. And please note that this is also the website where you can register for the event. There's no cost, and the deadline to register is August 25th. So hope you all will consider joining us at this important program.
And we'll put all the links to everything in the description of the video, so folks will be able to click and go right to it. So as we wrap up, Pamela, again, it's great to see you. And again, thank you so much for the work that you're doing, you and the Stanford Cancer Institute. You know, just I know it's a lot of work annually putting this on, and you can see the passion in you, and you are doing your part to try to, eliminate this disease that affects disproportionately African American women. So why don't we go over the particulars? So where can people get the information, register, websites, emails? Once you give us that information.
Great. Yes, to register for our 10th anniversary conference on breast cancer in African Americans, visit our conference webpage at tinyurl, one word, .com/2021 BCAA. And you can always email me for additional information. My email is PRATLIFF. That's my initial, my first name, and my last name, Ratliff@stanford.edu.
All right. Well, Pamela, thank you so much for coming on the Eddrick Show. I really appreciate it. And good luck with getting the information out. And the attendees at the conference are not going to be disappointed. There's going to be so much information to help folks who definitely need this information and the resources that you're offering. So thank you, Pamela.
Thank you so much, Eddrick, for having me.
You're very welcome. This was the Eddrick Show, episode number 5. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button as we try to build our audience from the ground up. We want to thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode.